So I'm in front of the Kaimanawa Wall. This behind me here is the Kaimanawa Wall. And the Kaimanawa range of mountains, or the range of mountains that becomes the, I think it's the Kaimais to the north. Oh, sorry, becomes the Te Urerewa to the north, then goes south to become the Ruahinis, the Tararuas, Orongorongas, and north Urerewa National Park, and the Kaimais, and then the Coromandel Peninsula. And this wall here behind me has many myths and legends around it. Some mystical, others more naturalistic. Many people believe that this wall was simply a natural formation. Other people believe that this wall is the remnants of a long lost culture that existed in this forest, probably before Lake Taupo, which is over that way, over there, before the actual volcano that was in the lake exploded, burying most of this civilization beneath the rubble of that eruption, and of course, and destroying the civilization. And this wall is the remnant of that, a part of the remnant of that civilization it's above the ground. Now, I've had many stories about people who have come here to this wall behind me. I'm going to walk up there shortly and show you what it's like up close. Many stories of people that have come here and had experiences here, mystical experiences, including friends of mine. So I'll tell you about some of the experiences my friends have had at this wall here. My friends Matt and Jason came up here and did a sound journey here. And when they were here at the wall, they were playing singing bowls, guitars and drums. And when they were doing their sound journey here, they said that they could hear a rumbling sound like the sound of 15 Mack trucks coming up over the canopy of trees here, over this canopy of trees, towards them as they played up there. They could hear this roaring sound coming towards them, both ways, this way and that way, coming towards them, coming towards where they were. And even though they had their eyes closed at the time, they could hear the sound, and it stopped literally above them, this tree line here, right above the wall. It just stopped. The noise just came rushing towards them and stopped. And the whole time this was happening, my friend Jason said he had a vision of this wall here going down 30 feet into the ground, and then at the bottom of that 30 feet was an enormous metropolis, like an Egyptian metropolis, of canals and structures, temples, houses, you name it. The whole area was covered in this massive civilization existing 30 feet below where I'm standing, which would make sense if there was an eruption of the volcano that was in Lake Taupo exploded. It would have buried most of the civilization that existed here, if there was one here, with canals going through this area. Would have been flat at some point, maybe. Many, many millions of years ago, or thousands of years ago, potentially. I look at this situation and think it's thousands and thousands of years ago, if not hundreds of thousands of years ago, at least in the tens of thousands of years ago. And this structure here is the top of a larger structure, which my friend Jason thinks is a pyramid. And that vision he saw, this enormous settlement, enormous metropolis all around him. And he told me a story of a police officer who uses a dowser to actually find bodies in the forest, hunters that have got lost, trampers and hikers that have got lost in the forest. He uses dowsing rods to find out where the bodies are of these particular people, these trampers and these hikers. And Jason said he met someone who knew this police officer, and the police officer, using this dowsing guy, brought him here to the wall here, brought him here to this wall, and said, look, I want you to use your dowsing rods to see if you find any bodies here. So the dowser stood in front of the wall and began to find bodies as he moved from the wall back up into the forest behind me here. At 30 feet down, he began to find bodies left, right, and center. He said, one here, one there, one there. In the end, he found 14 bodies in an area of about 10 square meters. And that freaked out the officer so much at 30 feet of strata, which basically puts it in a situation where that volcano over there erupting would have buried the civilization potentially 30 feet down. Behind this wall, under this wall, down 30 feet below where I'm standing right now, is probably approximately 5 feet below the wall. So 25 feet below me, or up there, approximately up there, between 35 and 40 feet, because that's the bank goes up the hill there, as you can see. He found 14 bodies down there. I'm just going to move up to the wall now because there's a car coming up the road here, so I can talk to you while I'm walking up here. Oh, I'm going to go along here. And just walking up and tripping over as I'm walking. So here, I'm at the wall now, as you can see. And it could easily be dismissed as being a natural formation due to the nature of how the cracks are, as you can see here, right? Down here, the cracks. And down here as well, the cracks here. You can look at this and say, oh, it's a natural formation. It's happened, it's organic in regards to it's a natural formation, right? It's just a natural formation. But the rock here, I look at this rock here. I look at this join here. And I think that is not. It looks cut to me. That looks cut to size to me, that formation there. I'm coming over here as well, looking at this segment through here, that could easily be natural as well. All of it could be easily natural, but I look at things like this, and my friend Ben came here and put a Lemurian quartz crystal in here, and it fit perfectly. When he put it into this hole in the wall, he put the crystal into the hole in the wall here, and when he did that, he said that the light fractured, come down through the trees, hit the crystal, and it went through here like an electrical cable, went through here and lit the whole back of the rock up. And he thought, what the heck? I said to him, why don't you turn it like a key and see what happens? He's like, no way. So Ben and Kaylee, my friends Ben and Kaylee, who came up here about 2 years ago, said they came here, looked at the wall for a day, had meditation in front of the wall here, which I'm going to do myself shortly. And they said they went to a campsite further along the road and camped out at the campsite. And that whole night, they felt like someone was watching them in the forest. They were picking up their torches, and they had a little fire where they were camped out as well in their van. They had the fire going, and they said they were looking around themselves and with their flashlights going like, who's there? Who's there? So they could totally feel a presence in the forest around them at the time they were actually camping out up the road there. And about 10:30 at night, the presence that was watching them, they could feel, just vanished. When it vanished, they said they went to bed after that. This huge tree here too, I think it's a rata. Massive tree here going over the wall. It's amazing. And this could have, the roots of this tree could have actually split the rock as well. Could have gone into the rock and split the rock. I don't know. I don't know enough. But they did do a LiDAR test here on the actual ground here, going up the bank and up the hill here. Whoops. Up the hill here. They did a LiDAR test to see what was beneath here, under about 30 feet, and they found nothing. Apparently, they found nothing. But here's the funny thing: the Department of Conservation has put a ban on any scientific research on this particular area where this wall is for 75 years. So why would Doc and the Department of Archaeology, or the Department of the History Department, or I can't remember what New Zealand calls it, maybe the Department of Archaeology or the Archaeology Network, or the people who work within the archaeological field in this country, why would they say there can't be any research done here for 75 years? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. What are they hiding here? What's being hid here? I don't get it. I don't get it. If this is just a wall, a natural wall, then what's the problem? It doesn't make any sense. So I see things like this as well. That could be totally natural, 100%, 100%. But when I came up here before, without my camera, and just stood here looking at this wall, and stood about here where I am right now, my hands are like this, in front of the wall, my eyes closed, I could totally feel a resonance coming off that wall. I can totally feel it, 110%. Let me just walk over here and walk around here. I've wanted to get up here for a long time and find this place. It's been quite hard for me quite elusive to me to find it. If I walk over here, this is the other side of the wall as well. I mean, all this to me looks natural. It looks natural. All of this section of the wall looks natural to me. And there's the supposed Celtic cross that's been found on the wall. But I think that looks to me like someone's actually carved that out. X marks the spot, right? Yeah, supposedly they found a Celtic cross on the wall somewhere. That isn't, definitely, that's not it there. That looks to me like someone's carved that into the wall just as a joke. But looking at it, and looking at the actual size of this wall, you really can't tell if it's, when you first look at it, you'd know that about it. You look at it and say, oh, it looks like it's, unless you're an engineer, and otherwise, for me, looking at it, it looks like a natural formation with roots growing down through it. They could easily split the rocks and cause the rocks to split the way they have. You see the root system going through here, along here. This is the root down here, through here, splitting the rock. But there are, for me, there are definitely energies here, whether they are from a civilization that's existed, that's buried beneath my feet, 35 feet beneath me. I don't know, but there's definitely an energy here that's palatable. Whether it's the people that have come here before me and whose resonance and their beliefs have been accentuated by the spot. Maybe there's a portal here. I don't know. But for me, it feels very mystical in the sense that there's something energetically going on here that I can't explain. I don't have enough information. But looking at these joints, looking at these edges in here, like this edge over here, and here, looking at that, the way it's joined with a rock here, it's a pretty clean line. Like someone's picked up this rock and put it in place through potentially, whether it be gravitational field or whether it be gravity levitation through use of sound, or these rocks have been molded into place, melted and molded into place like they have at Sascyhuaman. If you follow that scientific belief, or archaeological belief around the fact that all these rocks were melted and then formed into place, which some people believe that Sascyhuaman was, but it does look very much like Sascyhuaman in Bolivia. It could easily be, in my perception anyway, it could easily be a common link here with in regards to the cultures. Hard to know. But I've been told as well to walk up the top here. I'm going to go for a walk up around here onto the hillside. I'll take you up there with me. And let's go up here onto the hill. So I'm up here on the hill above the wall now. Loads of people have done LiDAR work in the last few years to try and find anything below my feet. And apparently they found nothing. Apparently. But that police officer with the man at Doused found 14 bodies up through here. And about 10 metres square at 30 feet. Apparently, according to my friend Jason, who I totally believe. There's no reason for him to lie. And down below me here, down here, the wall, well, this was before, down here, my friends Jason and the Blue Diamond crew did some work with orgonites down there and anchored some energy in down there and activated the area. I think maybe that's what I'm feeling when I go down there, is the activation with the orgonites that happened last year, at the end of last year. I think it was in November last year. They came here and they did a ceremony down there, and they activated the region, the whole area, and activated the land and opened up the energies there with orgonites and intentions, bubble tech intentions. and a ceremony down there, and then came up here into this area through here and did the same thing up here as well. So the energy here is there's a storm coming in tonight. I'm going to camp in the forest in my van, so I'll be alright, but yeah, let me take off my jandals and see how that feels. Oh wow, yeah, there's definitely a charge coming out through my feet I can feel. Oh yeah, amazing. So there we have it. We're at the Kaimanawa Wall, and I've now on this barefoot and charged. It's time for a meditation, I think. Thanks for watching, I truly appreciate it. I'm mystified and I'm still curious about the Kaimanawa Wall. Thanks for watching, I truly appreciate it. Mā te ua. I'll see you again soon.